Hi everybody, welcome back to Kate's Space. Welcome to my channel. I just wanted to do a little quick as possible flip through of the fabric collage gratitude journal that I've been making. If you haven't seen the series, I'll link it on the screen so you can go back and see how this was made. The cover was made using a whole bunch of pretty old fabrics and ribbons, and following along with Mel from Moonside Parlour, who's done a series showing how she makes her beautiful collage covers. This book journal measures 21 by 15 thereabouts and has one signature. And in the end, rather than wrapping something around here because I didn't want to cover what I'd put on the front, I put a couple of eyelets in and I've tied it with the sari ribbon. This could be removed and a different ribbon put on. If you've been following along, you will have seen most of this journal, but I do want to have a record for myself, and also when I put it up on Instagram as a giveaway, so look out for that. That will be happening in the next wee while. Yeah, when I put it up as a giveaway, I want people to be able to come and have a look, maybe if they haven't followed along. So I've put an old envelope on the front here, and it made it into a tuck, plus it's got something in it, and I've got this little vintage fabric snippety thing with an old linen button. I normally have something hand sewn in my journals. Here's an old postcard. I can't see what date it is, but it's pretty old. Addressed to someone in Otago, which is in the South Island of New Zealand. And a New Zealand insurance certificate here from 1950. And also this big journaling card that I was just using up some scraps and ended up putting this little flower fairy that I had cut out on there, and then I was umming and ahhing about sticking it on the front or the back, but I've left it loose so it can go anywhere in the journal or used for whatever, or yeah, that's what I decided to do with it. So an Edith Holden page with some fabric and lace and a rusty safety pin and a little leaf charm on there. In this rusty paper clip, I've popped this tag that I made a long time ago, and I've held on to, but it was perfect for this journal, so that's been popped in there with a little what do you call those little a little vintage flashcard that says sing. And oh yeah, under here is a page from a beautiful New Zealand book called Portrait of a Garden. On the other side of this page, oh, and that's right, I forgot that this, in actual fact, is a big pocket. She could go in there. So yeah, there's a big pocket there. So the fairy could slip into there if you wanted her to. I'd forgotten that I'd made that into a big full page pocket. Anyway, on the other side of this clip, which has got some sari ribbon just tied to it, is one of my old New Zealand checks, 1927. So pretty old, nearly 100 years old. Some beautiful handmade embossed paper that I purchased from Heather at Rosehill Paper Cottage, and a whole lot of New Zealand stamps on a piece of paper from long time ago. Again, I can't quite see the dates on there. 18th something 07, 1907 maybe, I don't know. This is some of the onion skin dyed paper, and that's like a sketch paper, so it's not got a nice weight to it. This is also a sketch paper that's been coffee dyed, and there's a little bit of an imprint of a doily in there. I've popped in one of my eco prints. This was one done, I think, towards the end of last summer when there were still some Pahutakawa flowers, and I wanted to test the Pahutakawa flowers. They're quite bulky, which is why, I don't know if you can see it, there's some sort of 3D dimension-y kind of thing going on there where the paper's stretched over the flowers. But I love how they dyed or printed. I really love it. And on this side is a rose leaf from the rose bush that comes over my fence from the neighbours. This is out of an old New Zealand weed book it's got some lovely black and white drawings in it, and I was going to put it in the book and I forgot, so I've glued it together, and it's just been a bit of a, I don't know, I've just tucked it in there because I love the illustrations on it. Some of the old diary from 1927, some old music manuscript paper, some tea dyed, just lined note paper, some scrapbook paper. This is a Stamperia paper, but I thought the autumny leaves on there were good. And on this side we've got the lovely red berries, and I made that into a pocket. And this is a big tag. You can journal on the back, and it's got a little butterfly sewn on there. And yeah, that's just a collage tag. Enjoyed making that with a eyelet and some sari ribbon on the top. Just some coffee dyed paper, and on here I have attached another old envelope from 1951, New Zealand one, and inside is a gorgeous Christmas card, actually really old, beautiful embossed Christmas card, but it has that real autumny look. And I've just lined this with some of that New Zealand weed paper, so you can see when you take things out that lovely drawing coming through. Another illustration from a botanical book called New Zealand is a Garden. Just really love those watercolours, and I loved the colours in that. Some old ledger accounting sort of paper, some sort of grungy coffee dyed grid paper, a little flip, and I haven't popped anything in here. Life is good. And yeah, so there's a little pocket there, and in here I've tucked a little tag that I'd made a wee while ago, and there's a video making those tags, so I will link that on the screen there. You'll be able to see that pop up. And a little flower fairy image that I fussy cut. And this is actually from a farmer's diary from the 1951, and I haven't used it much because he's written on he's just written everything down. He was that must have been what they did, just to keep a record of everything, how many lambs, the fencing, everything. So it's all written down, but I've just started using it now. And there's some more of that lovely kind of heavy sketch paper. An old page from a girl's own paper from the late 1800s, which I've backed onto some sewing pattern paper. It's actually got a little tear up there, which I think I'm going to put some old sellotape on just to keep that from further tearing. This is coffee dyed, and this is the only printable in the book, and this is one of Heather's from Ruby and Pearls, and it's actually out of her Peace on Earth Christmas kit. But how beautiful is this piece of fabric that she's scanned in? It's just so rich and gorgeous. I love it. And so I was looking for something for the center, and I saw that because I'd printed some out to do some Christmas journals, and I thought, well, that will just go perfectly in this book. So there we go. And there's an Autumn Thoughts poem, so that's the other side of the girl's own paper. So yeah, we've reached the middle, so everything's a repeat, obviously, because there's only one signature. This flips out, and I did a little tuck spot here with a little starling, and there's just a little bingo card and another collaged tag which says grateful, and they just tuck up in there. Little charm hanging off this bit of sari ribbon, a little mushroom toadstool on a bulb pin. The grid paper, ledger, some old wallpaper that I've turned and made into a pocket here, and that's another collage tag that's just been sewn around and just has some sari ribbon at the top. Sari ribbon ruffle. This is a faux library card which I've sort of aged up and put some sari ribbon on, and this is one of the collaged journaling cards. Actually, there's a video for these as well. This was one of the collages that I felt didn't actually go very well, but look at that, I've ended up using it, so it just goes to show you never know. And I think I have them that way with the little bird peeking out. Lots of room for journaling. There's writing on here, it's in pencil, you can rub it out, but I thought it was cute, someone using their little music book, practicing drawing their treble and bass clefs. This is just some second-hand or thrift shop note paper. Another postcard, not written on the back, it's got this sort of ink on the back, and I just thought the colours went well with the journal. And another collage tag that I made with some old wallpaper and old doily, old book page. Thought that went well with the tag and a little grungy lace bow at the top. Oh, and that's the other, obviously the other side of the eco die, so that's the rose paper, and actually that is a rose, this here. It's the last rose that was on that bush that comes over. I said to Hilary, I'm stealing the last rose off your rose bush because it's on my side of the and I did an eco print with it, so hopefully I'll get some more of those this summer. A little rusty bird paper clip, and I've just tucked a few little bits in here. This is just one of those very, very old Prima watercolor cards, and a old New Zealand Ko-Fi playing card, and a couple of New Zealand, I think there's health, they came in the Weet-Bix Sanitarium Health, so in the cereal boxes, and that's a tree obviously. And this is not a New Zealand one, this is a Brook Bond Tea London, and that's, I just thought the colours and the animals went well, so they're just tucked up inside the little bird paper clip. Did a little bit of stenciling just on that page there. Oh, and actually I think I did some earlier on the music. Yeah, there's some on the music paper underneath there. Another little collage tag. I think we did this one together on video. And this is some old spine fabric off an old book spine. Little flower fairy. Just backed with some lined paper. Cardstock. A little paper, rusty paper clip there. And this is another piece of ephemera that I've made a while ago, but it just fitted perfectly with this journal, and it's made on some old hanging file folder. And I thought this was an Edith Holden illustration, but I cannot for the life of me find, I've got several Edith Holden books, I cannot find that illustration anywhere in the Edith Holden books, and I've googled it and I don't know where it's from. So if you know where it's from, let me know in the comments, because I'd love to know. And yeah, that's the last page, and then a little snippety collage down there with my logo on it. And that's the end. That's the autumn gratitude journal, and it's been made with the thought of my supporters and the people who have encouraged me over the last year, 18 months or so, and just my supporters and subscribers, oh not subscribers but my followers on Instagram. So that's why it's going to be a giveaway, and I thought I'll pop it up in the next wee while, and then I'll probably draw it on Thanksgiving, which will be the 25th. So that might be the 24th for most people, but the 25th here of November. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all your support, and I hope to see you again soon in the next video. Bye.